thing out. But hi, how are you guys? How is everybody? I'm gonna try and share it out now because I'm a dumbass and we started talking and I forgot to do all my sharing stuff. But hey, Aldan, what's up?
Hey, good, not much, mate. That's still the best intro on the internet by a mile. By the way, it's
Oh,
awesome. Every
thanks,
time,
man.
every time Matt takes that dude's head off, it's just wicked.
Well, I'm thinking about trying
Every
to
time,
get another one made here soon.
yeah.
A Stormlight esque one would be good. Since we're talking Stormlight. So, but we'll see. Those things, of course, unfortunately, cost the monies, and
Yeah.
that's
You can,
you know.
I guess you can.
So Alex is running a little late, so we'll continue on, and whatever he can say his piece when he jumps in. But we got 10 people to chat. Good to see you, Articus. Good to see you. Getting used to my new layout here on StreamYard. StreamYard's updated a whole bunch of stuff, so that's cool. I saw Darcy was here, and Nick. I saw you two as well. Good to see you. I don't know why it disappeared on me, but Darcy said, I feel neutral about the Kaladin Sill romance plot. So, in comparison to the people that utterly despise it, I seem quite positive about it. So, uh,
I'm
we're
neutral
gonna
as
we're,
well.
we're gonna talk about it a little bit because and I'm sure Alex will Alex, whatever we call him these days, the man with two names. I'm sure he has lots to say about it. We were just talking about it here uh, before we went live, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't talk about it again. But I am
Hmm.
not as against the whole Sill. It's not my favorite, but if they do it right, then it's one of those things. It's like fine. But
Yeah,
chapter 10.
no, 10.
What the fuck was that
Not great.
chapter?
It's fucking not great.
Like it's like
That.
I'm saying like I was driving with my daughter. I was telling you this. I was driving with my daughter listening to it on the way home from trying to go to Costco. And I'm sitting here listening to it and I literally said, what is this? What is happening? Because it's the weirdest chapter. It's I don't even know how to. I'm sort of lost for words. And I enjoyed that chapter 11, but chapter 10 was like just weird. If you told me it was written, like we were talking about that too. If you told me it was written by one of his editors to like, hey, we need a fill-in chapter, take a crack. I totally believe it because it was the oddest chapter I've ever written in one of these books.
Yeah, it didn't. It did feel very much out of um out of order for Brandon. I would suggest maybe he's trying new things. I don't know, but
I
like Joel Vaginas was not on my bingo card for
Joe,
2024,
yeah,
right?
man, yeah, so making jokes about what's under her dress and shows
Pretty fun.
and a bully speech to an old ass librarian because we have to white knight for a
Yeah,
spren. It's like,
yeah, I know.
what
It's
is
a bit annoying.
going on here? What the fuck?
I agree. I
Like
mean, you
it's
can put, yeah,
it like I don't even know, like nothing of use other than the fact that it seems like and I agree with. I think it was Will that said it. Other than it seems like Syl is the person that is writing the book. At least I think that's what they're alluding to. But
yeah,
I,
that's
I I
strange.
don't know what the takeaway from that chapter was. It was the
Yeah,
oddest thing
that
I've
was,
I've read.
no, you can summarize it pretty much down to Syl flirts with Kaladin in a really uncomfortable way, and Cal lectures the bitch in the library. That's about it.
Oh, people feel that way. I don't know. I've never.
I never thought that
I've never.
either.
I mean, Scylla's older than Kaladin by fucking few centuries. If we're being semantics, I mean, but
Millennia, millennia.
millennia, probably, yeah, right. So, like, if we're, I don't know. I guess I don't think of it that way. I just, I
However,
find it weird that he's gonna be,
I find it weird that you would even think that in the first place, right? Like, where
yeah,
does your brain,
I would
where does
never
your brain
go
go?
there. Yeah, I my bra- yeah my I just don't like them getting.
I,
I would rather her be his friend and them be friends, and
yeah, and hopefully it turns out like the time. like I'm hoping it's like Tom and Elaine from the Wheel of Time, like where Elaine's just been real weird, and Tom just is like sort of like suffering through it for a little bit, then it goes away. Hopefully that's what this is with Syl sort of like finding her growing into her sentience.
Hey, Alan's here.
Hey.
What's up, man? Wasn't sure if
Hey.
you got family in town, man.
Yeah, I can tune in for a little bit.
All right, man.
What do you think about child vaginas, Alan?
Yeah, how are you feeling about child vaginas? Because we're just trying to unpack what the hell chapter 10 is. Because I got nothing.
So I've been kind of devil's advocating most of these chapters. Like I've been mostly positive.
Yep.
I really did not like
it's
the Kaladin chapter.
It's the weirdest chapter I've ever read in any of these books. Like literally the weirdest.
I didn't like it at all. I loved the second chapter. Shallan's chapter was freaking awesome.
Shallan's chapter was great. It was great. For the most part, I mean, there's a few little things. I mean, I like the chapter. I think there's some details to go over.
Yeah,
that didn't make the most sense, but in essence, the chapter was entertaining, right? Like it was.
Yeah, it's really
good. I liked things were happening.
I have no idea what the Kaladin stuff was.
I have no idea.
Darcy's got a good point in the chat here. Like,
which one?
The last one.
Oh, the last one. Plus, even if people survive, we aren't seeing these guys, so potentially Stormlight 6. So maybe Brandon is just giving some sillier moments because we aren't seeing them for a long time. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
it would be a silly choice to ruin your best character before killing him off.
It was so like the sum up of the chapter is they go and antagonize a librarian, then they get mad at the librarian because the librarian doesn't like being antagonized by the kids.
The line that really got
Kaladin White Knights Syl is like, what?
The line that got like the librarian was just being like an average librarian. She wasn't even being that rude.
No,
like Syl is kind of an imposition on people, and I would be annoyed in that situation too. And then the line that got me was "You're treating her differently just because she's a spren."
That was retarded.
Yeah,
of course she would. She's a fucking spren.
Yeah,
she's not human, bro.
Doesn't everyone in this world except for Kaladin?
She even says she should be treated differently because she's like they even say it in a chapter. She's a little piece of a god, or so. It's like you say she like. What do you mean?
It's the
so
weirdest thing. This was so weird. You guys said it. It felt like fan art.
It totally felt like he gave
fiction.
It totally felt like he said, "Look, I don't have time to write a chapter here. I need something filled in. Can one of you guys grab, like I need a Kaladin chapter in here. All that really needs to be in there is that Syl is getting is learning to write, and she's going to be scribing. You can fill in everything else, but just make sure that the part where she gets a pen and she can write is in it. And then somebody's like, okay, and then." They wrote this weird fucking White Knight scene where we're alluding that the librarian's a racist.
That doesn't even work, though.
For I know it doesn't, but it's like I'm trying to figure out where the hell it came from. It's like out of nowhere.
Do you have how's your home life? You must have a reason for being so mean. I'm like, she's not. She's just.
She's dealing with kids being assholes in her library. Like,
it doesn't give me good feelings about potentially King Kaladin the Wise. He might be King Kaladin the Stupid, but
there was some good. Like, I liked that he didn't know the word for library. I liked that he called her the quartermaster. There was some clever stuff going on. But like just the bulk of that chapter was just so bizarre.
Yeah.
Ergo, like where did like ergo come from? Like I don't like in some of the like I don't know. Some of the dialogue was a little bit like where did these words come from?
straight out of a Tumblr feed, I would suggest.
Like, you can carry things I cannot. Ergo, like, what? This is Syl talking to Kaladin? What?
The vagina thing just goes on for so long too.
Yes. There is some strange word. There is some weird word choices in here as well. I can't remember. I don't feel. I don't know whether Brandon's trying to
expand his vocabulary. Like, I don't know what is going. Like, ergo. Like, I heard ergo being spoken by Michael Kramer. I'm like, ergo. What the fuck? What?
Not a Brandon word. There's other ones as well. There's like there's the ceiling. What did it say? It was like something about ceiling.
It really scares me that he's just been listening to people around him, because this feels so different.
Yes, I think that, and that is, I think that is. I'm looking out, Dan. I don't know. But yeah, that's what it totally feels like. It totally feels like he had a divert DEI consultant pull him aside and say, "Look, we need a chapter where you allude that Spren are people too, and that they're being, being. It
feels like he went through sensitivity training."
And we need Kaladin to step up and be an everyman and white knight the shit out of Syl because she's being mistreated. It's like that's what it feels like, and I think that's the scariest part. Is it's like he's listening to some of the people around him that he needs to be doing this shit. It's like, what?
And no, they're weirdos, mate. So that's not good.
And I don't even hate the idea of them having a relationship, right? Her gaining some kind of physicality. It's weird, but it's not like the weirdest thing to ever happen in a fantasy book.
Yes,
I don't hate that idea. I just want Kaladin to be happy, you know.
Yeah.
But this
I don't want to involve child vaginas. That's all.
This was weird. Like, and I think like you could have like made that joke, and it still could have worked if it was just like 2 lines. Well, you know, like oh, you want me to be modest? Well, I'm just smooth down there like a Barbie, you know, and then just moved on. You know, it's just like, oh, I'm just messing with the humans. You know, I can do whatever I want. But it goes on for like 3 pages.
Well, and then Kaladin's like, you don't know what it looks like. She's like, no, of course I do, idiot. It's like,
yeah, he keeps bringing it back out. It's so weird.
It's like, she's like, of course I know what it looks like down there, dummy. It's like, it's like what? It's like, Kaladin, why are you being so dumb? What are you doing? Like, what is? I don't. And Darcy. Comment all you want, man. Like stop it. Yeah, the white knight scene was worse than the Chol thing. The Chol thing was just weird because librarian stuff is so weird. It's like it totally like out of
again.
I sort of want to read the first 9 and then all of a sudden this chapter comes out. It's like, where did this come from? Like we just had Scar throwing spears off a balcony. Then we've gone to a library to talk about freaking Syl's vagina. Like what?
And but what does the scene progress? She just picks up. The purpose of the scene is her picking up paper. So the only other purpose for this chapter is for what we don't like. It's the message. It's this. It feels very DI. You're right. Like it's.
Yeah, it feels like it's a checkbox chapter. It's so weird.
It is. Hopefully, it goes away. We'll see.
I hope
so. Like I said, it's like I said, Steve, too, mate. Like this, we are suffering. Like we have to always remember that we're reading 2 chapter chunks, week by week. If you're reading the book, it most likely would not feel as annoying as what it does. Yeah, it's a problem and it's something to look out for, sure. But let's not put the horse before the cart, right?
Well, and then it's like who we're once again pulled out of this because who talks like this?
Yeah,
like Kaladin is talking to the librarian. It's like who talks like this? Like you should. Why are you so mad at Syl for trying to better herself? You should be. It's like. What? No,
you should be thrilled that she's made this progress. She doesn't even know who Syl is.
I don't know who Syl is. What? I'm the librarian. I am giving you a piece of paper and a pen. Can you get the fuck out of my library?
If I'm the librarian, when he says who berates a person for bettering herself, I would say she's not a fucking person.
Well, who
don't know.
berates the librarian for giving supplies to people who requested it?
Like this has also come right after like her giving like good advice to like this weird creature that might not, like, she doesn't know about their physiognomy or anatomy, so she's like, hey, maybe if you're gonna go flying, you want to be modest. So she's like actually trying to be helpful, and then is rewarded with a very, very awkward conversation, and then when she wants them to leave, she gets berated.
I think all this could also just be here just to progress the Sillidan thing.
Yeah.
No, I think that's exactly what it is.
Well, yeah, no,
just
that's
done
what
in a weird way.
They grin at each other and fly through the sky. Like,
Well,
it's
and
them, it's them growing closer.
Yeah, she calls him adorable, and they hold hands and sail away into the sky, hand in hand, right? It's like, so that's exactly what it is. It's just root beer, Nos. It's just root beer. It's Dad's root beer. I don't drink, buddy. Dad's root beer, because I'm a dad, and it tastes better because it's called Dad's. Okay,
it's pretty good. It's a pretty good root beer.
I like it.
I'm impartial to IBC, but
I have IBC downstairs too.
That's some good stuff. That's
some
like special occasion.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. This is a Kaladin and Syl, one step before sleeping together chapter. Yeah. He's taking her on a date and they're gonna go in the sky and giggle and laugh, and she's gonna touch him on the shoulder, and he's gonna defend her because the mean restaurant server was mean to her, and we're not gonna give you a tip because you were mean to my girlfriend, and now I'm gonna berate you so I get brownie points so I can put my D in her chol, apparently.
It's so.
I'm talking about Kaladin and Syl. What the fuck?
The reason it's so awkward is like they. I don't think Brandon realizes, or Kaladin as the character realizes, they're the ones being bullies.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are the ones being bullies in this scene.
Yeah. That's correct. 100%. 100%.
Which is, and that's the concern, is that Brennan doesn't know that. He should know that.
It's because this kind of stuff is justified. It's literally. I mean, I don't know how political you want these streams to get.
Well, go.
But like that's like the theme, like the only answer to past discrimination is future discrimination. Yeah, it's evil, is what it is.
But
if you've been fed this lie for so long, I mean, you start to justify this kind of behavior for a righteous cause,
Well, and Darcy, you're right. So, I mean, still also being Kaladin described as very much towards what a wife is meant to do in Lithely Men. True, 100%.
Yeah, so there's lots of different points.
It feels like Zac Efron confronting the bullies in 17 again. You're a bully because you have emotional problems, right?
It did. It felt like a CW,
it's some
high school drama thing.
It's like, sir, I am just a librarian. Did you order this book and pen or not? You did? Okay. Here it is. Can you please leave me the fuck alone now? I don't care. Can you write? I don't know if you can write. Are you bettering yourself? Is it for you? I don't care. I am trying to work.
You guys started going off. You guys started going off on this on Discord before I'd read the chapter. So I was like, Kaladin confronts a bully and it's cringy. I was like, oh, do they just like get to Shinovar and he's confronting a Shinovar bully and he's using therapy instead of the sword? And I was like, this is gonna. I guess we're in Shinovar already, but it's a librarian.
Alan, I'm telling you, it's so funny because I had the same thing because I hadn't started reading it either, and I saw that comment about Kaladin bullying. It's like we're in Shinovar.
He deals with a bully, and I was like. I never in my wildest dreams did I thought what I could have guessed that it was the librarian that I was reading.
Yeah, hey,
that she was going to be the bully.
Hey, Kaladin, we're in a bit of a hurry here. You and Zeth need to catch the storm wall as it's passing through. Make sure you take some time and you go get a pen and paper for your fucking spren before you leave. It's like
what? Stupid.
I like the idea that she gets him a copy of
Way of Kings.
Way of
I like
Kings?
that. I like that. I like that.
That's-
And probably,
that's
but
one
the
line.
thing I don't like is she's going
needs
to be
to
the
learn
one
to
that
read?
teaches him how to read.
Yeah.
They're going to have a little like she's going to teach him how to read moment, and they're going to like it's like no, like can we get? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the whole Silladin thing or whatever people are calling it. If it happens, it happens. It can happen.
I'm
won't
not
ruin
shipping
anything
it,
for
but
me,
I don't.
I just
I don't hate the idea. No.
me and you, I think, are on the same page. Yeah.
I didn't hate it until this chapter. Now I
know. You've been like, oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
I was like,
you were.
And then you're like,
everyone wants to fuck the fairies. That's
not
fair
like
enough.
this. Not like this.
No,
That's
that's
like
not
this.
going around just berating people who are just trying to do their jobs.
It comes off.
Kaladin,
It comes off as the guy. It comes
right?
off like the guy who brings his waifu pillow to like a public gathering and demands that people talk
Respect.
talk to his body pillow.
You know what he's acting
and call
like?
her by her name and treat his pillow like a person.
You know what? But you know what? Thank you, Trip. Thank you very much, Trip. I appreciate it. But you know what it's like? Kaladin's acting like? He's acting like a fucking uppity Bright Eyes. It's like,
acting like
what
a
are you
lighter.
doing? Like, that's the thing. He's fucking rallied against his whole life. Now you have him treating him, and not only is he acting that way, you're trying to portray him as being correct in acting that way.
Maybe that's something Cal.
Is that the point? It didn't seem like
Maybe
because
that's
they left like pat on the shoulder. We put that poor worker in her place. Sir, Brightlord, I'm only of the third dawn. You're about 18 stations above me. I'll do whatever the fuck you tell me to do. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? It's so weird, man.
This chapter terrifies me, man.
It's scary.
But it's like I said. Look, keep it in context, right? We're reading 2 chapters at a time. If you're reading the whole book, you probably just go past this and forget about all of it. Do you know what I mean?
This is a skip chapter. This is a chapter you skip and you don't lose anything.
You skim. If you're reading the whole book, you skim this and you don't even recognize it. Someone comes back to you at the end of the book and says, "Oh, how about still talking about?"
I hope that's all it is.
I think this would have stuck out for me.
I think on the first read, but what I'm saying is like if on a second read, I skip chapter 10 every time. Like there's no reason to read it. There's nothing of value in it at all. Zero. Except for and probably the next chapter we have Syl writing down that she's writing on a piece of paper. We find out like that she has a piece of paper. So it's like, okay, we really don't need this chapter. It's nutso. So chapter 10, what a mess.
What's worse, the Matt Grape chapter or this? It was more than a chapter, wasn't it?
Matt Grape chapter was.
It was a couple chapters.
It always soothes my soul to hear that confused yet frustrated tone of Steve's voice. Well, that is my normal state of being, Trip.
Steve's mom when Trip can't spell here properly.
Oh man, I don't know. What is this? What's worse, the Matt? This.
Yes. Sorry, I was reading his comment when I brought that up.
This is far worse.
Mm-hmm.
Far worse. But then we get to chapter 11, which is much, much, much better, which also pains me because I'm saying how much better a Shallan chapter is than a Kaladin chapter, which should inherently be backwards, but it's not.
I've been trying to tell you guys, Shallan's not that bad.
Oh, I've been reading the. Hold on, I didn't read the script in front. So in chapter 10, the second moment had happened already when Szeth himself decided to take upon him this quest, the one that would shape all of our futures.
So that's interesting, right? Because it says that the second moment. So that means that the first in the previous epigraph where it says like the first moment was when Kaladin listened or whatever.
Right.
So that's happened before the end of Oathbringer. Then.
What are these moments referring to?
Before the end of Rhythm of War, when Szeth decides.
Yeah, no, but like the second moment of what? Like what? I forget what it was building to.
They didn't.
Well, setting the other.
I think they've just called it moments. They haven't said building to what. Like
no, but they said that in the other epigraph, the last one was it.
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, grab chapter 9.
It's chapter 9. It was chapter 9, so I'll find it real quick. For what was it? You said chapter 9?
I'll agree. The first key moment came when Kaladin Stormbless listened. Okay, it's just a key moment. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
if that's the first one, then that's already happened. So at some point in Rhythm of War, he listened to something that apparently was like the super important.
Yeah. Okay.
So I thought that this was talking about future events when I was up until now. Now I'm thinking, okay, so this is talking about something that's already happened.
These are it's like recapping this book.
Yeah. Oh, before that.
Well, yeah, I thought it was recapping this book too. So maybe it's a mix. I don't know.
Well, it can't be because if it's before, because Death made that decision at the end of Rhythm of War, right? So
right,
and that's the second moment. So it's before that.
Huh.
So yeah.
Okay. In this one, it says, for a while, the contest of champions was to happen in the East. A different contest was to happen in Shinovar. And
can we get there then?
Yeah, I know.
Can we, we're building this up so much. Let's go.
So what I find interesting, and one, the wind swore was equally vital, perhaps more so. So
more vital than the contest of champions.
What could be more vital than Odium being let loose on not only Yoshar but the Cosmere?
Well, whatever's happening in
Spren vaginas.
Yeah, apparently so.
It's a contest of will.
It's a vagina competition. All the different versions of Spren vaginas.
Yeah, well, she wins because hers is a chol, right? Okay.
And best in show goes to Syl for a chol cloaca.
Oh shit. Let's see here. Sorry. Okay, so we pick up back with the few. So I wanna just mention, I am pretty positive now that I forgot who originally was said that the theory about it being the first ideal again, being sworn by Shallan. I like this even more with what happens in this chapter. Her power, the power she gained was very fleeting. It was gone almost as soon as she got it. She has no armor, which, with what is going on, she would have armor on.
Yeah,
correct. Plus, it's also like a function that was previously banned.
Right.
So it's clearly not part of an ideal. It's just like a skill that they decided was too dangerous or something in the past.
Yeah, and what we were complaining about, he kind of immediately nerfed it. They're like little shadows that she can shoot out.
Yeah.
And that's just like an attack,
It could be as simple as it was banned, binding to Spren to get stronger versions of each ideal. It was banned, right? So
no, because he says this substantiate. What this bloke says something about substantiation.
Right, but what I'm saying is what was it that allowed her to do that? Was it the fact that she swore the first now twice, and maybe that was the thing that was banned, was swearing the first oath on 2 Spren?
Well, I don't think so. Banned. It seems like he's talking about
the technique specifically. Yeah,
but why would that? I don't understand why that would be banned. That
substantiation or whatever.
That doesn't seem like that big a deal. So
no,
I mean,
no, it doesn't seem like that big a deal, but maybe it is.
So that's why I think the thing.
He didn't say banned though, did he? He said you guys. I thought you guys stopped teaching that or something.
He said something about it was. Hold on, let me see. Did he say the word banned? What did he say?
He said forbidden, I think.
Forbidden here.
Because I made a note saying it's not leveling up.
Forbidden. He took her in, then glanced at Radiant, made physical, her eyes narrowing as he hummed to discordant rhythm. You have learned substantiation. I thought your kind had forbidden that skill. Odium will need to know. He dove through the bead while vanishing.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I think that that's I like that. I like this too. That it made it. It's something different. So I guess we'll find out in the future, like whether she's going to keep doing this or not.
It just sounds like, hey, this is a dangerous technique that we don't really teach to light
we don't
weavers.
really know. Yeah, and we don't know why it would have been dangerous, but we'll find out.
Well, in case like somebody wanted to make a person with a chull vagina.
That, oh my gosh, Shallan's gonna create Syl's body.
Yeah, with a and she's gonna think it's like, oh my god. No.
Darcy, hey, listen, before we go on, Darcy's got a really good point in here.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Question for you guys. If you read the chapter of Shallan talking about Adolin pooping in shard plate in the same way we are reading these, would it feel similar, or does the chapter work a lot better?
Oh, that chapter's hilarious.
Oh, I feel like that chapter's way better, but...
Yeah, but you read that in the context of reading the book. And that's what I think Darcy's saying. I think
maybe okay.
I think that's a good point. I think it would be if you just read that chapter and it was right at the start of the book, you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yes, but the thing is Adolin didn't then take off his shard plate and give it to the laundromat guy and say, "Why are you so fucking being such an asshole about cleaning up my shitty shard plate? Get to work, asshole."
All right, you're treating my feces differently just because it's poop?
Yeah, it's Bright Lord poop and not non-3 poop. What is your problem, bitch? Get to scrubbing like that. So, like, I get the point, and you might be right, but I'm hoping chapter 10 is like you say, it's just a fucking weird blip, and we just go by. I hope it's scary because if it's not, but I am just right now hoping weird blip on the radar. He let somebody just have a crack at writing something. And he said, "Okay, I'm going to get my DEI requirements in here. Pop, boom, bam. We're going to get it in here early, and now it's done and moving on." I hope.
If that means we don't have to talk about R'Ellaine and fucking Renarin, then I'm okay with it. If this like covers the DEI injection into the books, and we don't have to
wait,
go there.
Wait. R'Ellaine and wait, what? Have I missed something? R'Ellaine and Renarin are gay?
I think so.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously? Wait, what?
See?
Yeah, you might be right about it. I'd never thought about that. You might be right.
You've just gone straight past that in Rhythm of War because it's nonsense. That's what you would have done if you were reading this book with that last stuff, I reckon. So that proves my point.
Maybe, but it's Kaladin, so I would have been focused. But I get your point. I get your point, but what? All right. How would that? I'm not even going to go there. All right. I'm not going there. All right. I thought R'Ellaine had a girl, like had a wife. No. Okay. No. All right. So first problem. Okay. Well, actually, I shouldn't say first problem. First question. I think it was Alex that brought it up. We are assuming that she cannot manifest shard blades. She is just manifesting something that looks like a shard blade, correct? In
I don't know.
Radiant.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. It can't be an actual shard blade.
Because I think that was Will's question, right? Why the shard blade didn't just cut him in twine, and my assumption was it's not a shard blade, it's just light.
Just an impression of one. Yeah,
right. Okay. Second question is, why does Shadow Radiant suck?
What do you mean suck?
Well, why didn't she kill him? Like, Shadow Radiant is supposed to be the warrior. She should know where to stab a fused, but she
hit him in the wrong spot. She came through what? She hit him. She stabbed him through the gut.
Come on, if you could learn substantiation, the first thing you're not going to do is make him suck.
Well, yeah, true. Exactly. You're right. Yeah, sorry, I touche again. Sorry, backtracking. Oh, backtrack. It's okay. Touche.
I mean, she has to hit him. Did they have to stab them through the
gem heart or the spine? Spinal cord or gem heart? Spinal cord or gem heart. So
she's got him through the back of the kidney, basically.
Well, it's better. It's better that Adolin kills it anyways. It makes Adolin that much better because Adolin's a badass. Adolin is climbing tiers on the cool ladder.
That's what happened.
Yeah, he is climbing. He is climbing levels.
Yep.
passing Kaladin slowly, which makes me sad.
Pretty quickly at the moment.
Yeah. So let's see here. So, trust him. You can trust. Wait, what? I don't remember. So, what? So we got this. Sorry.
Shallan needs a better vocabulary too.
For the whole,
she keeps saying, "Adolin is so wonderful," like 10 times in every chapter.
It's true. It bothers me. We've talked about before, so I won't. But we wasted so much time on Formless. I hate that Vale is just still not gone, and we won't go over it. We won't go over it more. But I'm so.
Yep. She's got. Unless she manifests her, she's gone. She's just. Like,
it doesn't need to be Vale talking in her head. It needs to be Shallan talking to herself. That's it. That's all.
Part of, and that'll be part of. Shallan will work that out. That's part of it.
I hope so. Faster.
And it does kind of feel different, like the way that he's wording these interjections in this book, than compared to the first 4.
I wish it was.
So it does kind of sound like, hey, this is really just her talking to herself. But she's so used to calling that part of her personality Vale and Radiant.
Okay. And that's part of her process. That's part of it. That is part of her process.
It feels like a step forward.
Yeah, I will give you that. I want it to happen faster, but we won't retread that. We won't tread that because we've talked about it. We've talked about that. We don't need to talk about it again. Wait. Okay. So wait.
This was the line that bothered me.
Which one?
It's
where are we at here?
Right after Vale whispers to her that it's a step forward. I didn't mean to copy that line. It's Shallan had begun thinking of the heavenly ones as the least dogmatic of the fused, but like everyone else, they were individuals. She should have realized her mistake in generalizing an entire group. And I was just like, I don't like that line.
Yeah,
it makes sense in this context, but I really don't like that line.
Why not? It's okay. What's the problem?
It felt like it was leading to other things. Same, you're treating this brand differently just because they're brand.
It's putting it's connecting dots that hopefully don't continue.
Yeah.
That's so I get what he's saying.
It could lead to completely nothing. Like in this context, it made sense. But comparing it to the last chapter, that one made me worry too.
What up, Will? How you doing, brother?
He could be saying the opposite thing. Like he could be making a reference to people talking about specific voting blocks.
Yeah. Voting. Yeah. No. Like
one way rather than.
I was but my mind when I read that connected it to the last to the.
It did the same
dumb
thing.
Comment.
It did the same thing to me as well. So I hopefully it just doesn't. But we'll see. Hey, well, we moved past chapter 10 real quick, but I'm sure you have things.
I do.
Well, let me ask you first. When you discovered your wife's chul, was that a great day?
This was one of those really bizarre things.
What was bizarre?
He's
fucking
what's up, Joey?
Bizarre. Yeah, I didn't know what to make of that. Actually, Darcy in the chat here actually perfectly echoes my sentiment upon reading chapter 10. This one right here.
Unironically, Kaladin calling the librarian a bitch would be less cringe than the Reddit therapy talk. Yeah. Agreed.
Factual. Accurate.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. It's just. I don't know. We talked about it. It's the weirdest chapter I think I've ever read of Sanderson. And hopefully
Absolutely.
It's just a weird one-off and. You guys are right, and it won't matter in the grand scheme of things. But I will say that I had the same problem Alan had. As soon as the dogmatic, you're not treating everybody as equals line was in there, another bell went off. It's like, I think it was too. Whether they don't it felt too close together, and there was a line to connect there, and it was just like, please just mind be making it up. Let's move on, please. Right? I just yeah. So, do you have anything else you want to say about 10 there, Will, or
we've now had 4 too many Kaladin chapters in this section.
I agree. They've only been like 2 pages each, though, so technically it's like 1 chapter.
Wow, it certainly felt like a lot longer. Like this, I know, end of the segment, you want to say goodbye to all the characters, you want to have the emotional goodbye, but like,
this one was This one was obviously not necessary. This whole chapter 10, could have just been a line of like Syl figured out how to fucking Syl got Kaladin a book or whatever, and that could have been part of them like leaving. She could slip it in his backpack on the way to catching the storm.
You know what would have made this better? If they're like waiting on the platform to catch the storm, and he's like, "Why is my backpack so heavy?" It's like,
it's got a book. Oh yes, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then, like, while they're camping,
like she just convinced someone to slip some stuff in there for
Well, when they're camped,
she's like, "Oh, I picked it up myself."
Well, or when they're camped or resting, she's off by herself concentrating, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he sees her like trying to fucking write. It's and like, how did you do that shit? It's like, where the fuck did that come from, right? Like, I mean, it's so much better than this.
Way better. Weird. Yeah, and he could have used that to progress the Silladin plot as well. Like, I thought it's whatever. She's like slipped it in his bag as a surprise or whatever. Because he's trying to.
He slipped something in.
Yeah. We didn't have to have no fucking vagina choles that way.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, 10. Ugh. So I'm ready to move past 10 unless we have more we need to say. No, okay. 10 a waste of a chapter. Man, it's getting sad when we start getting a little bit hesitant to read Kaladin chapters. That's where I'm at right now. We're a little bit. I don't know. We need to make a turn around here.
We had just gotten to Adolin killing a fused.
Yeah. So
by using a real fighting technique of gripping the blade to make it shorter because he's in close counters.
Well, he was also
really cool.
using the dull side of the sword to actually give him leverage and so
it makes
proper
long sword shorter.
Yeah, proper sword hand. Yes, proper sword hand, not sword hand like.
I loved reading that.
Proper sword hand, not like Acolyte when the guy's grabbing the lightsaber and with his hand and trying to use it. Like
that came straight from Shad Brooks though, because he's consulting. He's consulting on the stuff now. I'm like, I've heard him talk about this all the time. Like I know this was his note. Exactly. I know he is consulting on swordplay, or he has consulted. So I think you're probably right. That's exactly where that came from. But let's see here. Did we get to the part where he killed it yet? It's very different from Blandel Simp half swording from Staple Bow in the comments.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was reading the comment.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't my joke.
What's up, What's up, Staplebo? Good to see you guys. So let's see here. So, did we get to the part where he killed? I think we jumped ahead because we were talking about fuse gas. Oh yeah. Okay, so he killed it with the void light. Let's see here. So let's see here. So she's made a little room out of beads. I'm assuming it's just a square, right? She's just manipulating the beads.
Yeah.
She
kind of levels up a lot here.
In terms of
being able to like summon the beads that she needs to her, like will them to her.
Yeah, her other surge, anyways.
She's also. It's not just leveling up. Is it really? It's
no. It felt natural. It was good.
She's getting some help here from something, from somewhere, from some entity. Somehow something's happening, and she's acknowledging that something's happening. It's like she's getting Mary Sue here, but it's not that
It's
she's
not
talking
her.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's talking about it. Yeah. So it's I want to know what that is. Like, yeah, it's interesting. And is that like? I mean, we've got Bard and Mishram.
Wait, so was the part where the thing yelled at her before that?
No, I was in the middle of it.
It's later.
Okay.
It's when they're when she's on the bottom of when she makes the room on the bottom of the beads or whatever.
Somewhere went down, damnation. What about Gallant? Let's see here. I wish I had a keyword I could, because then we go to the island. So from the stars, we go to them.
It did happen earlier.
Yeah, it happened. I thought it happened before the fuse dies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it happened when she's on the bottom of.
Here, I will kill you. I will burn everything you love. I want exact vengeance in a river of blood. So, so this is when so they're down there flirting again at the bottom of the bead lake, and it's just Adolin and her, correct?
Yep.
At first, yeah.
And then, well, because Mishram wasn't there when Drahe shows up, correct?
Nope.
I thought Mishram only was there for the two of them.
She was.
So I guess. So is she just? I guess she can just be wherever because she's trapped in the spiritual realm. Like, is she free in the spiritual realm now? Like, I don't like. How is she able to manipulate stuff like this currently?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's strange. She can't be free because like we set up like an arc for Shallan to go and find her in the spiritual realm already. So she can't be free. But for some reason, there must be some kind of awakening of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, of whatever restraints there were that were in place to keep it completely from.
Right, and then I think what was you, Will, that didn't like. What was it? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you like weren't real happy that she was basically threatening to kill everybody because she should want them to come free her. Was that the point you were trying to make? I only read half of it. Yeah,
my issue with this is if I'm supposed to accept that Mishram is the most sophisticated of all the unmade, she's not showing it at the moment. She is, in fact, kind of working against her own interests. She should be promising Shallan, "Oh, if you rescue me, I will tell you the secret to defeating Odium." And instead, she's losing her shit and yelling at her. And you know, people can say, "Oh, you know, she's gone crazy for, for being locked up for a couple thousand years." But at that point,
of course she is.
You know, the character then isn't sort of characterized as being the most sophisticated if their actions make them dumb. You know,
she could be both.
She
could be both, and she hasn't been characterized yet. We've got like 2 sentences worth of an opinion from someone in the Radiance in the old Radiance. Yeah, we have no idea. And you would expect someone to be different after being 2,000 years being locked inside a rock, I would suspect. And what Gavin says to you,
I want to say whether she's the wind or not. This I think could be looked at as a factor, right? Changing Odium's vessel, whether Mishram is the wind or not the wind, if it changed things, she doesn't have to be the wind for it to allow her to do things, because it changed things. So it's a good point regardless, whether that's what I'm trying to say, whether it ends up Mishram is the wind or not. I think I'm not convinced that Mishram is the wind yet. We'll have to keep going.
But I'm not either. But that event may have been the thing that has started to loose the restraints on Mishram's ability to interact with the cognitive realm, and we don't know whether she can interact with the physical realm yet. But she might not even need Shallan. That might be what's She might be able to just like make her own way back because of that change in vessel.
Well, and she's only talking to Shalon, just right. So I mean, so she's in Shalon's. Adolin. I'm assuming Adolin is panicked because of seeing something happening with Shalon, right? So, I'll rampage across the world until not a single human remains, drawing breath. Betrayers, thieves, monsters. I will send them back to the flames, and once you. Oh well, so I guess he saw it. I wonder if he heard it too. Huh.
I would
obviously
assume
saw the face, but I feel like it alludes to it. I don't know. I don't know. Speaking the rhythm in her mind, so no, he probably saw the bead face, but didn't hear it. I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know.
It says it's in her mind. A woman's voice speaks the rhythms. So
yeah, you're probably right, mate.
Yeah. So and then he just destroys the head. So, so she snaps to, and I don't know if you were here when we were talking about it, Will, but I think I think the way Shalon is acting. I think the big thing for me, lending credence to this is the first oath being spoken again, is the fact that she's running around in a combat situation with no armor. I think that's either a big sign that she hasn't really spoken the fourth yet, or I think it's a mess, up personally, because Kaladin is in a combat situation and immediately gets his sprint. Well, I guess I wonder if that applies to being in Shades. We talked about. I think we talked about that last week. Is it because Shadesmar? Does the sprint not act like armor in Shadesmar? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, we don't know.
We also know that light weavers are very different from the other things as well. Maybe they don't get armor. We don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, Yasna.
They probably do.
Yasna seemed very sure that she had armor. So I guess we need to see her outside of Shadesmar. What's going on before we get any more credence about whether it was a first with testament or actual fourth oath.
I don't think it's a fourth. I think everything in this says that it's not a fourth.
What's that?
I don't even remember. Are you able to summon your Shardblade in Shadesmar?
No.
Adolin can't summon Maya.
No, you can't. The Spren. That's why they had to go retrieve the Spren, because they can't summon them. Right. So logically the same thing happens with the armor.
Their armor.
Right. Yeah. So I forgot we had reasoned that out, and I lost track of it. So. We need to see her outside, but I still like the theory that it's the first oath with testament.
I like it too.
Yeah, so I hope that's the case. I think that's better personally. So I think so. It sounds like Gavin likes that too. So we'll go with that. Dustbring. What happened with Dustbringers? What are you talking about?
He and Yanan are talking about which order deals with vengeance.
Oh, isn't that video game that no one played?
Oh. Is that what we're talking about?
It was Dustborn, something like that.
Dustborn, right? Oh my god.
It's crazy we got two of those in the same week, and one of them's already getting pulled offline, right?
Oh, what? I can't believe Concord didn't make it. It's amazing. Wait, how did it not make it? It's crazy. Storm's Adolin is good. Radiant is thirsting after Adolin as he flies off. Let's see.
Then we got the fun horse stuff.
So yeah, so then so he asks about Gallant, and Drahe goes off to find Gallant.
What do we think about? Okay, so what do we think about whatever's talking to Shallan and helping her through this, right? Like she's finding these beads through magic.
See, I didn't think that was anyone helping her. I thought that was. She kept saying like, "Oh, this seems supernatural. I keep getting exactly what I want." But it was like maybe that's just a function of light weaving in Shadesmar, is that you can summon the necessary bead to you. Like we've seen the the fused command, the beads and stuff. Like it felt.
Well, it could be an else call. I mean, it could be that surge.
Help.
Yeah.
Well,
We've also saw.
She's getting help. I think she's getting help.
We also saw Calic say that he asked her, "How often do you call upon fortune?" in one of the previous chapters. So, I kind of come down to it. Either she has the Matt Cawthon luck power, or where I'm more leaning is that Eldan as somebody is helping her.
Too much. It's like we're adding fortune now, and it's just like the wind is here. It's like
there's a lot. There's a lot of.
What if it's just luck? What if?
Go ahead, Eldan.
What if it's like the wind for Kaladin, right? But we've got it with our other story arcs so far. We've got Kaladin with the wind, sort of like being this entity that's helping him along, or giving him, talking to him in some fashion, pushing him in a direction that he needs to go.
What if
we've got another entity doing the same?
It's too okay. So it's too much. All right. So now we have shards, we have heralds, we have unmade, we have radiance, we have fused, we have Mistborn floating around in the spiritual realm. We got Ghost Bloods. We got Sons of Honor. We've got
we've got a Returned hanging around. We got who knows why.
Old Magic, the Wind, Fortune, Dawn Shards.
Shards. There's Dawn Shards, which we don't even really know what the fuck those are. I mean, we sort of know what they are, but we don't know what all of them are. Or it's just like we need some concrete so the wind and all that wind, truth, whatever, they need to be something tangible and not something new, in my opinion. Like something that already exists, because if we're just adding to, it's now another layer. Like
it does feel like this book is adding a lot of stuff last minute.
What's that, Alden? What were you saying? Yeah, I sort of agree, Alan. What's up, Alden?
To be fair, the wind has always been there for Kaladin since the start. So
yeah, but it hasn't been talking to
him.
But see, I'm with Gavin. I hope that the wind, truth, all the fortune.
I thought that was just Syl being a windspren.
What I'm hoping is that these entities, the wind, truth, hope, all that shit, or fortune, those were the original spren that were then corrupted by odium and made unmade. So the unmade and the wind and the truth and fortune are all the same.
That would be
so that is my hope, because then we're
putting one less thing to keep track of.
It's all one thing, so it makes it a lot easier. We're not stacking more on top. It's just, it's a cause and effect. Odium got control of truth, warped it, and made it into lies, right? Or something, right? It unmade it, right? So, I hope that's what it is. If it's not, then it's then we got another fucking layer of this 18-layer cake. It's now a 19-layer cake.
I think it's interesting that in a lot of ways Sanderson gets a lot of credit for, when he took over Wheel of Time, he really, it had gotten really broad, and he kind of narrowed it down in the finale into one thing. And it now seems like he's very much...
Dude, I had the same thought. He's doing the same thing that Robert Jordan did.
Well, it's like he's getting all this stuff in his brain, and he's just coming out.
Here's the problem. Robert Jordan found the greatest editor of all time, and then he married her, right? And so years into that relationship, she's going to start trusting him more and letting him go off, and maybe not reining him in as a boss should, And I feel like Brandon Sanderson is in a similar place where he's a world-renowned author. He's gotten so good at his job. It might be hard for him to I don't think receive criticism. It might be hard for people to give him criticism, because they might just think, he knows what he's doing. What could I possibly say? And so it really does feel like the Wheel of Time, just like, we're getting a little bit too big. Maybe rein it in. Maybe don't marry your editor.
I also think there's something to be said for. I'm just spitballing here. As Odium takes over Teravangian, does the sort of the components of that Teravangian sort of more embodies the intelligence, the cunning, the whatever, become more powerful, such that an entity like Mishram becomes more powerful, as Odium becomes more whatever, and then the unmade that are
it goes the other way. It goes the other way. So like the power starts to influence the vessel over time. So like
yes, we agree that the vessel becomes more like the shard rather than the shard becoming more like the entity. And I think in the long term, we've established that is very true. My question is in the short term.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Are we seeing, because Teravangian doesn't give a shit about something like truth. So is the element of truth becoming sort of more free to do what it would compared to what it was before, whereas something like Mishram of intelligence is becoming more powerful? I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make sense. It's a good question. It's a good point. I'm not sure that we've seen it before. I mean, we've seen Stay Zed take up preservation and ruin, but that's two shards at the same time, so it's a different situation. So that's a good question, man. I'm not sure.
But yeah, that could easily just explain all of these sudden changes that we've seen, right? We've had a change in ownership of the Odium shard
of the tower.
But he's also made himself a bunch of slaves, and so like it's going to affect all of them, right? It's going to affect all of the unmade, and they're going to start acting slightly differently. Because like what it says to do with all of the Khandra, right? Those were effectively slaves that had been made by a past god, and he kind of reassigns them, right?
Yeah, and it didn't change the way that they functioned. It just that he gave them different instructions, so to speak. I suppose.
Just a theory.
I think everything changed. I mean, it says in the text, right? Everything changed when the vessel changed. So, I think
in what way and for what reason?
Teravangian Odium is, I think, scary as shit, just because we saw what he was capable of. So
way more scary. More scarier than before. Way more scarier than Wraith.
Yeah.
Way more scary.
So let's see here. So we find out that Gallant is fine, and Gallant. So was Gallant flying himself, or was I didn't quite understand. Was he flying himself, or was the lashing just wearing off?
Are the readers the only ones who know that Teravangian is now the new vessel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, I guess technically,
Wit doesn't even.
Technically, Wit would have known, but he got his memory wiped. So, what did they think happened though? Because
was Dalinar there? Was Dalinar there?
Because what happened was Seth gave his sword to Teravangian, and Teravangian went off to go kill God.
Yeah.
And then. When was the bargain struck for the Contest of Champions? Was that before or after that?
I thought it was before that.
Right.
Yeah, it was. It was before that. Yeah. Because Teravangian didn't make the deal, did he?
No, but now he's going to use his superpowers to analyze every detail of the deal and find loopholes
and get them all wrong because the diagram is fucked. Oh, sorry. The diagram is a mess.
Do we have? We don't know yet what. God, what is Adeline? What is Adelin's brother's name?
Renarin? Yeah.
We don't know why Renarin fucks up the diagram yet, do we?
No.
I don't think it's said.
We don't know. I mean, we assume it's because he's bonded to a corrupted spren, right? That's what we assume, but we don't know.
I just can't help but think about Dune. He's just a no ship. He doesn't. He also has the same power, and so they cancel each other out. But that's in like book. No. That they start talking about that in Dune Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
In the second one. Those books get real weird.
I have to read Rhythm of War again. I really do.
Yeah.
Some of this is I'm having trouble remembering some of it.
Yeah, Articus. I did not read the comment. I didn't see
let's see here. And then we find out.
So Gallant, hang on. We have to talk about Gallant here.
Go ahead. Yeah, please go. Yeah.
We have to. I think that this does damage to my theory about Gallant being a Kandra.
Yeah. I think it definitely kills your theory.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah.
I really liked your theory. I thought that was a fun idea. I like the
theory too. I did
too.
Too. There's got to be a Kandra on Roshar. There's a Kandra somewhere.
You can't win them all, Eldan. Okay.
There's a Kandra.
You've been right too many times. You had to take one
Alex
out.
Actually,
so wait,
Alex had a good argument.
So I actually, the more I actually am wondering if the description of the ghost image is an instance of him not being from Roshar is causing a sort of dissonance, and that the Windspren don't, the Windspren just kind of see him and assume that he's one of them, and that they don't know that he's different. I'm sorry, the music spren, yes.
Wait, are the horses not from?
Yeah, I don't.
Roshar? Did they bring their horses over on spaceships?
I think so.
I assumed. I think the horses are from Braze.
The Roshadium.
The Roshadium are, anyways.
I was going to say. So I don't know if this is where he's going, but if we're making the, Native American, Native European comparison, Europeans brought horses to North America.
They did.
Just a thought.
Except that they're bonded to these music spren. I think that's what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing
that's the counter argument.
Gallant, yeah.
Are all the Roshadium? So wait. So are all the? Do we know for a fact that all Roshadium have a music spren?
Yeah, well, this is why we think so, because Adolin has a connection with one which you would assume is the spren that was attached to Shoreblood before Shoreblood gets it in the neck, right? So that sort of points.
Well, I'm assuming the one that came up to him was Shoreblood.
No, what would be the spren? I think it's not Shoreblood. I think it's the music spren that was bonded to Shoreblood.
Sorry. Yes, agreed.
Wait, are we gonna get Night Radiant horses?
They already are.
Are we gonna get some furry radiants?
Dude, can you imagine just riding Gallant fully sharp plated in the air to battle? He already knows that he can fly. Windrunners get each of their own horses when they hit the 5th ideal. They get the horse. That's the 5th.
They get the flying horse.
They get the flying horse.
Unicorn.
Every radiant gets a flying horse when they get the 5th. Fuck yeah, I am totally down for that. But why music spren? I think is that because they have a connection to music has a connection with Roshar and cultivation? Is that
that's the
rhythms
major counter argument,
the tones
being from off Roshar, because the tones are so important to Roshar that if they're the music spren being what they bond to would signify that they're probably from Roshar, I think.
Right. So okay. Huh.
Yeah, but it does kill my theory, which I'm not happy about, but that's okay.
Well, look, what I was going to say is is there a well-endowed, beautiful, tall woman on Roshar right now? Because then you know that's a Khandra. Because that's right. Which I forget which Khandra that is in Era 2. What's her name? I forget her name.
Yasna. It's Maylin. You're talking about Maylin. But yeah,
Maylin. Maylin. So is there
you guys
giant bitch with big boobies out there?
While you guys have been shipping Kaladin and Syl, I've just been shipping Adolin and his horse.
Oh yeah.
Unironically, a better ship than Adolin and Shallan.
Dude, I can't wait to see Gallon full shard plate. That's gonna be fucking great. It's gonna be good.
That is gonna be rad, like full armored horse.
Oh
armored
shit!
shard
I didn't see this. I didn't see this picture.
Yep.
Oh yeah, down the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I listened to it. So this is. Nono says that not all Spren are imagined by men. Like the true Spren, not two of these appear to be exactly the same. Adolin seems to have a special connection with this one. So not all Spren are imagined by men. So does that mean? Wait. So who? What?
The horses have imaginations too.
So the horses imagined music Spren?
That's what this is saying.
That would make sense.
They've imagined.
Huh. No, Maya's a sword. God damn it.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck the sword.
She has a chol vagina. Catch up.
Yeah, you're not missing vagina.
Maya has a chol vagina. It's not gonna work out between them. All right. So we discover the horses, which is very, very cool. And then okay, so let's see here. So Shallan turns them into a pack of Roshadium with light weaving. And then they go spy on the lights, which turn out to be a giant fused army or giant singer army sailing through Shadesmar to Azamir.
Yep.
Yeah, near the Grand Nell, which is where Honor was killed, perhaps.
So Honor at an Elysium.
Well, but wait a second. So if there's they've came through the perpendicularity in cultivation's perpendicularity. They said through the peaks.
That's what they said,
right? So they came through cultivation's perpendicularly in the peaks, and they're going to Azamir. I don't understand what they're doing. Because how are they going to get? How are they going to get back? How are they going to get back up?
I don't think they plan to. I think they plan to take Azamir.
How? It's the lights. Never mind. Sorry. For some reason, I thought they were. Never mind. I just put it together. For some reason, I thought they were traveling in Shadesmar. It's the lights.
No, the army is not in.
Yeah, no. It just clued in. The lights were representations of them in the real world. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. My bad. Sorry.
I have not memorized the map inside my head, so I have no idea where any of these
the heavenly ones. So the heavenly ones were trying to keep people away from the lights on the Shadesmar side to stop them from being tipped off that there's an army traveling in the real world towards Azamir. Okay,
that's Alethkar. That's Junkovit. Where are the Shattered Plains? I'm looking at a map now, trying to get
southeast corner.
So they're gonna book it to Azamir. And
that's what they've been trying to get to anyway.
They'll beat them there by a mile if they're sailing, right? That shouldn't be a problem. I mean,
no. The question is, what do they do when they get there?
Yeah. Well, they have the Oath Gate, right? This shouldn't be a problem. Now that they know, right? You just fucking
don't let.
I shouldn't say it shouldn't be a problem, but they know something now, and they should be. I would assume they're going to take advantage of this big time, knowing that the army's on the way. They should be able to plan it accordingly. But because I don't think they can get there. Know. But they shouldn't have a problem getting to Azamir, though. Why would they have a problem getting there first, though? Like they have Windrunners, they have Stormlight right now. Right?
Did they know? Yeah, but what about? But they've got to get up through the back to the arse into the Oath Gate. I do, Salty. Here you go, mate.
I hate you, man.
They've got to come up through the arse end of the Oathgate in Azimir, right? So, like, I'm
Right.
not even sure that we know what the status of that is at this point in time.
With the Azimir Oathgate?
We're getting attacked. Yeah,
Well, it's
on this
open.
side, on the Shadesmar side. Like, they've just been attacked. Well, they've just been attacked by this bunch of, like, fused or whatever that are trying to stop them from getting to that particular exit point, right? Like, for a
Well, I
reason.
thought so. I thought the fuse
no.
were so the heavenly ones were protecting the boats or were protecting the lights, not the portal to Azimir.
Yeah, they were just trying to keep anyone from seeing the caravan.
The only ones are inside Shadesmar.
What's that?
Only the scouts are inside Shadesmar. The majority of the army is out in
the real world,
the physical realm.
That's right.
Right.
So, but if you've got scouts that are like that are keeping guard to make sure that no one sees that there's a caravan heading towards Azimir in the cognitive realm, it stands to reason that you've probably got the exit point covered as well, right? So we don't know how
I guess that's
what exit points. I guess
I think he's talking about the Oathgate. I think he's assuming that there's heavenly ones guarding the Oathgate, the Azimir Oathgate.
Well, do they care about the Oathgate? I mean, other than stopping the good guys from coming through, if their goal is to just conquer Azimir,
that would be some 4D chess to be like to think that they have people like they have no idea they're sending people to the Azimir Oathgate. That would be they'd have to have some inside baseball there to know that. Right.
Well, I mean, if their goal is just to conquer Azimir before so that they hold it when the 10 days end, so that regardless of the outcome, they get the territory.
Right.
And also to sow discord within the good guys compact. With the Azimir being upset that their nation is getting taken over while Dalinar's is remaining free. I think that's a tactical move that makes sense within its own, makes sense itself. The only reason they would care about the Oathgate is to stop the good guys from coming through and taking it back.
Right. Yeah, I just assumed the Oathgate would be unguarded, but that's just, maybe they do have a guard there. I at this point, I figured the Heavenly Ones were guarding the caravan, and the Oathgate was just there waiting to be used. But maybe that's just me being naive. I don't know.
Well, I don't know why you would have, but if you've got, my point is, if you've got scouts in Shadesmar, then that's what they're looking for, people coming through Shadesmar to seeing what you're doing, right?
Well, I think it's more they were forming a perimeter around the caravan, so if anybody was traveling Shadesmar, they got dead before they saw the caravan.
Yeah, so the good guys don't. Yeah, I would imagine they have scouts in both the physical realm and Shadesmar, with the hope to prevent, Dalinar from learning that they're moving in their main.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. And so, if you wanted to prevent Dalinar from learning that they're moving that direction, then you would also block the exit. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, at this point, I think we have to assume that there are 0 unguarded Oathgates anywhere in the world, even if it's just,
Although they are using some, so there is some. Yeah. Well, there is some that they're using like frequently that we know of. So we know that some of them aren't guarded. I'm just not sure about this one.
Well, you guard. I don't know. I think it would be pertinent to guard all of them, whether you own them or use them or not. But right, that's a big tool to lose control of, right? So,
well, that was telling us, that was the first in the Council of War. That's what he was talking. Like the strategy of like securing the Oathgates was like a primary importance, and he's right about that. But they weren't able to do that initially. So we'll see.
So it's a secret state. Yep. So So that's the end of the chapter. So yeah. So we had I don't know. We had one very good chapter in 11 and one very weird chapter in 10. Yeah, I don't know. So any thoughts that we missed here that because I'm sort of floating all over the place here that we missed and we didn't touch on from chapter 11. Can't they get out through the Everstorm? I think they are only reborn through the Everstorm. I don't think they can travel through it. I don't know. Guys, do you know?
I don't think that the Algos.
What's that? Sorry, you cut out.
I don't think that our guys can. I think that the like
can the Fuse use it?
Champions can.
Okay, I thought it was only a tool for rebirth. I didn't know that it could use it to travel in and out. Okay.
I think so. I think that's where Ulam came that way. The Spren,
right?
The Spren of Odium come and go that way. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's another. It's another level. So all right. Yeah. So did we miss anything? Is anything jarring that you guys need to that we missed that we need to talk about these two chapters, or anything else of what we've read so far?
No, I've just got one. I've just got one more note in my little notepad, just saying that it could be a net positive, like that Shallan can Shallan manifesting her personalities in this way. If we can get them outside of her head and into like acting as like physical, like a physical thing instead of like a mental thing, I think that's a net positive. So that's what that's.
Yeah, I liked Radiant shooting arrows and stuff. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I did the shard bow thing with Radiant. That was pretty good. I was okay with that. Hopefully, yeah. I the more we can get Shallan to be Shallan and not a personality, the better. I think that's always going to be the case until it happens. At least for me. I'm glad that she's. Do we think she's leveling up too fast? I guess we already touched on it, but with her work in Shadesmar, I mean, it's still sort of. I wasn't saying I felt that way just because she is using like Yasna's experience to drive her what she's trying with Bead. So I think I'm fine with her being able to manipulate the beads in such fashions because she's basically mirroring what Yasna's done, right? Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything
better
else
about this chapter than the last chapter, to be honest.
I think so. I agree.
I've got to go.
All right, brother.
Family just got here, so.
Well, thank you for popping in, man, and your thoughts as always. Being devil's advocate.
Stay a little bit longer than I thought because they were running late. So it's there.
Actually, real quick, Alan, give me your number rating 1 through 10 for chapters 10 and 11.
I can't rate them together.
No, each one gets a number.
Chapter 10 is. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever read. It's the worst Sanderson I've read. So does that make it a 1 or does that make it a 3? I've read way worse than this.
I think not from Sanderson because there was some weird. There was a few little quibs that were. Mm-hmm. I'd say 3 for me.
I think 11's like an 8. It's pretty good.
Okay.
I liked it a lot.
All good. Sweet. I decided I'm gonna start tracking these. So
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Alan. Okay, have fun with your family, buddy.
Yep.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I think those are. I don't know what I rated the other ones. I'm terrible at rating things, as you guys have figured out. But I think that's fair. I think a 3. I think because there was something we were talking. There's what was it? There was something that was decent at the end with of 10. What was it? Kaladin not knowing what a library was. The book, getting the book.
Not.
Getting the Way of Kings copy and
the book quartermaster.
The book quartermaster was good, and him getting a copy of the Way of Kings was good, and her being a scribe, I'm fine with. Yeah. Other than that, the chapter was weird, so I think a 3 is fair for 10 for me as well. And yeah, seven, eight is probably good for. I think I'm pretty much on the same page as Alan when it comes to both these chapters. 7 or 8 for chapter 11, I think, is what I'd put it at.
I got you down for a 3 and an 8. Well, Dan, I got you. What were your ratings on these?
Ooh, that was pretty good. Sorry, did we lose you, Alden?
I'm back.
Oh,
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, we'll just ask what your ratings are for these two.
Give chapter 10 a 1.
Woo!
Because one good thing happened. So, but it's not the end of the world for me. It's like I said, I'll look at it in the context of if I was reading this book, I probably just like this doesn't enter my mind as I'm going on. So that's how I think that will play out. But yeah, it gets a 1. The music span chapter I loved. So I'll give that an 8. Still not perfect.
Good.
I may be being too lenient, but I'll stick with the 3 because I did say what the fuck was like. Did you hear me talking about that, Will?
I did. I was listening when you were talking about that.
So maybe I'm being too because like I literally did say what the fuck am I listening to in the car, but we'll stick with the 3. I think that's fair. I'm probably being lenient, but whatever. So what are your ratings, sir? Or are you saying private?
I had it as a 2 and a 7.
Okay, fair enough.
Which I was very excited to see that I wasn't way off the reservation and that most people were right around there.
Yeah, I think we're all floating around the same way, same level for different. Well, pretty much the same reasons, probably just a little bit more harsh or less harsh. So, but yeah. So, anything else before we wrap up? I mean, we got through chapter 10 so fast because it was junk.
There's nothing in there. There's nothing to talk about.
Troll vaginas. You know, what can you do? So
there's only so many times you can talk about troll vaginas.
Yeah, right. So I do hope I am sort of latching on to this. I hope that the wind, truth, fortune. I hope they're all unmade now, and that is going to be the mission of the book is. Freeing them from Odium's taint, so to speak. Just because I don't want more. I really don't want more gods. I need more. I need less gods and more answers.
I think that no matter what, though, that's not what. I mean, we already know that it predates the shards arriving, whatever this wind thing is, and I assume whatever's talking to Shalana's of a similar vein. So it's not like I don't think that it's like a god or whatever. I think it's most likely part of the old magic or whatever, similar as Alex has said, which that's probably the most likely.
Well, yeah, scenario. But if it's old magic that was then corrupted by Odium when the shards arrive,
or cut off somehow. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm hoping. It's something like that because it's got to be old magic of some level because it really hasn't come into play yet, and we know it does exist on Roshar. So it needs to. I would assume it has to manifest somehow, and that's what's happening now. I hope the unmade are involved in it somehow. Otherwise,
I think they're different. I do think they're different. Like I do think the unmade are a different thing than whatever this is. I do think it's different.
We'll see. I hope it's not too far different because we don't need more. we need some consolidating. I think is where I'm at. So just answers. We need some. Yep.
I did mean to say before too when you boys were talking about it getting bigger, and Brandon losing himself a little bit in the story, like RJ might have through the mid part of his series as well. I think it's also important to remember that this is book 5 of 10. It's not book 5 of 5. So just remember that.
Well, no, it's book 5 of 5, and then 10 is going 10 years. So
it's going to be. It is book 5 of 10, though.
Okay, here's my issue with
but
that.
he doesn't even reference it as that. He says this is the end of an era.
No, but he actually clarified this not long ago. He did say that he wanted to make sure expectations were realistic. It's more like a imagine like an anime chapter ending rather than like a series ending for this book. So like there are going to be.
Look, there's no okay. Do we really think so? Mistborn is going to go 4 eras, and Stormlight is going to go 2. I don't know. I have trouble believing that. Just saying.
I don't think he's going to have. How much time is he going to? How old is he now? I mean, he looks pretty.
Oh, he's like third. Isn't he like just lower 40s or upper 30s? Like I don't think he's
40. He's 48.
48. So like
he's got tons of time. He's got tons of time.
You reckon? I don't know, man. I mean, he's not the fittest bloke in the world.
Tons of time. He'll just hit the weights and he'll have even more. He's got tons of time. Well, especially if he's got people ghostwriting chapters like chapter 10, he'll be fine. All right, guys. With that, anything else before we take off?
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. We had again pretty good turnout. Darcy, thank you for being here. Yanon, Articus as always. Darcy, excellent comments as always. Gavin, I wanted to mention Gavin. He had some great comments. Thank you very much. Good to see everybody. Hopefully everybody keeps coming on back for these discussions. I may try and keep up the stream. To several streams a week. Tomorrow we'll see if I got something. And then Thursday, it's that day when a ring of power is made. So I haven't decided if I'm going to live watch it or just review it, but something Thursday for Rings of Power will be available. So thank you all for being here, and thank you, Will, and now Dan, and Alan, technically Mexican. Make sure you sub to everybody if you're not. Shy, I know you're with us in spirit. Hopefully work's treating you well. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Remember, Trollocs lives matter, so do orcs. Orcs lives matter as well. They just want to have families. They're people too. They just want to have little baby orcs and live a normal life. Okay, cool. So with that, the new logo is up there, so in the corner there. So
I saw that.
So orcs lives matter. Okay, everybody. So with that, we'll go out on an oldie. We'll see you guys later. See you soon. Bye bye.
This stream is brought to you by. Have you ever been misunderstood? A puppy in a rage monster's body? Well, we here at Trollocs Lives Matter believe there is a human inside all of us, and
they were effectively genetically engineered war tools.
TLM, because even
nightmare fuel
needs